Winter has a way of slowing everything down, and right now, that feels like exactly what I need. Standing on the edge of a new year without him feels unreal. Time keeps moving forward, but part of me is still back there in the life we built, the future we imagined, in the version of me who never had to learn how to do this alone. The new year arrived quietly, like a hesitant knock on a door I'm not sure I'm ready to open. You probably noticed I'm not in the SUV camper, and that's for a very good reason. It's mid January. The weather's beautiful, but it's deceptively cold. I needed a change of scenery. The winter, not a lot of daylight hours, although that's getting better, and I'm looking forward to that. Also, our wedding anniversary is coming up, and if you've watched our videos in the past, you will recognize the place that I chose to come. It's a special place and very near and dear to my heart. Spent a lot of time camping here over many years with our friends and our kids as they were growing up. That's why I chose to come here to Port Townsend, Washington to do a little camping, and I brought the trailer so we'd be comfortable and cozy. The temperatures are getting below freezing at night, and it's not that I haven't camped in the SUV in freezing temperatures, but things are hard enough for me right now. So I want to be good to myself, and I have the trailer. As you know, I'm learning to tow it, so it gave good opportunity to get some practice in. I'm at Fort Worden State Park. There's a lot of history, old military fort. So there's a lot of bunkers, and it's on the water. We've got the Straits of Juan de Fuca to the north, and it goes out to the Pacific Ocean. And then across the bay is Fort Flagler. There's a lot to do here. The town is historic, a lot of historic buildings. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. The last time I had the trailer out was in mid-September. That trip didn't go well. And I talked about it slightly in my last video, but I got about an hour from home and the check engine light came on in the truck, and that was scary. Ultimately ended up turning around, going home. It took the mechanic a couple weeks to get it repaired. Fortunately, it was a easy fix and not very expensive. It was a oil pressure switch, but it scared me for a lot of reasons, being at, I pulled over at a rest area, and I have a code reader that I was able to get the code so that I had some information when I called my daughter and son-in-law with in a panic. First thing he told me was check the oil, and I panicked because I don't know how to do that. I've talked about this. I know it's a silly thing, but I don't know how to do that. Well, I do now. I learned the hard way. Being at a rest area, I felt really vulnerable. For starters, the code reader, to be able to plug it in under the dash is not an easy place to get to. I bent over and under the dash plugging this thing in, not being able to watch my back. And then the second thing was, they told me to check the oil, and I panicked. Like, I had a full-blown panic attack. Because I was afraid to open the hood. Well, I had to Google how to open the hood. I was afraid to open the hood because right away then I felt like it had a vulnerable sign plastered all over the rig. And 90% of the people in this world are kind, and I know that, but I was really worried that it would attract the wrong kind of attention. I ended up not taking the trailer for that trip, and it ended up being in October. I took the SUV camper to the Oregon coast, and I would like to say I had a great time, and most of it was good, but it was hard. hit hard. I went to, I shared a little bit about it, but went to a place again that, we've gone to multiple times, and it's really a special place. And I was a lost puppy the whole time. I'm glad I went. There were lots of good times, and I just need to recognize that it's not always going to be that low. I hit a low, very, very low point. Ended up coming home after about almost 2 weeks, really reevaluated and realized, I can dwell on the past for the rest of my life, or I can try to muster up whatever I have in me and be there for the people who are still here.
Some days moving forward feels like standing on unfamiliar ground. I'm learning how to exist in a world that looks the same but feels completely different. I'm learning how to breathe through the moments that ache, how to let joy visit without guilt, how to imagine a future that no longer looks like the one we planned.
I think it's very difficult to understand if you've never experienced this type of loss. And I didn't. I had no idea. The most difficult time in my life, the person that would help me through something like that is no longer here. Sorry. This is what grief does. It just all of a sudden it bubbles up.
I carry him in quiet moments with nature, in the pauses between breaths, in the silence, in the strength I didn't know I had until I had no choice but to find it. His love steadies me, guides me, and reminds me who I am. Winter is teaching me how to be content in the moment. It asks me to sit with my own thoughts, to endure the quiet, and with practice, the silence is softening. This is where Chris and I had our last birding adventure together. And if you haven't watched that video, I'll leave a link. It was a great day. I'm not certain why I'm drawn to the places that have such core memories, and that has surprised me. Sometimes it stings really hard. Other times it brings a sense of peace, almost as if I go around this corner, he'll be standing there with his binoculars. Oh, yeah. Wouldn't that just be fantastic? When I linger in these peaceful moments, something eases. The elements have a mysterious power. They make me feel at home and remind me what truly matters. My breath slows, my shoulders drop. I'm in awe of the beauty and the handiwork. The ground feels steady beneath me. It's been here all along, quietly waiting for me to notice. Winter has a way of slowing everything down. It quiets the noise, softens the edges, and asks us to move at a gentler pace.
That is the update. I'm hanging in there, and I appreciate all the love and support and messages. I have no words, but thank you. Thank you for hanging with me, and hopefully I'm trying the videos to be not so sad all the time. I'm trying, but it's the honest part of it is that it's here to stay. He was my soulmate. He's gone, and I'm learning now to do the things that we loved doing together by myself. When you're so used to spending 43 years with somebody, and all of a sudden they're gone, it one thing that really caught me by surprise, and it really shouldn't have, but it did, was the awkwardness of doing things by myself. Just simple things like going to a restaurant. I will not go inside I will order takeout, but I will not go in and sit and eat in a restaurant by myself. It just sounds like a terrible idea. Going for a walk, shopping, going in and buying little trinkets. At first, that was impossible. With practice, and that's what I'm trying to do. Sometimes I really have to force myself, give myself a nudge to get myself out the door to go be social and go do things, because I can talk myself out of it really easily anyway. But this is taking practice, and it's good. So going into like the little shops, I go in, I wander around. At first it just felt just like an out of body. I just didn't know what to do with myself. And but now it's getting, I don't want to say easier, because nothing is easy right now, but I'm learning how to feel more comfortable doing those things and try to find some joy in doing things by myself.
Cheers.